When an aircraft goes down, investigators rely on a specific set of data. They expect a frantic distress call, a sudden drop on radar, or at the very least, a debris field that tells the story of the final seconds. In 1972, a private flight carrying 2 U.S. politicians across Alaska followed none of these forensic rules. The weather that day was perfectly clear. Despite the visibility, no radio transmission was ever broadcast. No emergency beacon was activated. The flight simply vanished mid-transit. This 1972 disappearance yielded no wreckage for study. Investigators found themselves facing a mystery defined by total absence, where the usual forensic evidence was replaced by an empty landscape. The search operation was one of the largest in American history. Fleets of helicopters and volunteers scanned thousands of square miles of dense, snow-covered wilderness. Even with that level of coordination, the result was a total lack of physical evidence. No metal fragments, no emergency signals, and no remains were ever recovered. The failure to find the flight forced a closer look at a massive geographic region between Anchorage, Juneau, and Utqiagvik. The 1972 case wasn't a solitary event. Over the following decades, it became the benchmark for thousands of others who disappeared within these borders. This case served as the catalyst that defined the Alaska Triangle, a zone where machines and people are seemingly erased from the physical world. That 1972 flight established a blueprint for the region. Since then, experienced hikers and military personnel have gone missing with that same signature lack of a trail. Scientific hypotheses usually start with the terrain itself. Alaska's scale and geography create a natural trap for anyone moving through the wilderness. Glacial terrain is particularly effective at hiding wreckage. Massive, hidden crevasses can swallow evidence whole, burying it beneath moving ice that makes recovery impossible. The atmosphere is just as volatile. Temperatures can drop in minutes, and sudden snowstorms can completely block the view of search and rescue teams on the ground and in the air. Combined, the extreme terrain and erratic weather act as an effective incinerator of evidence, capable of hiding both people and their technology indefinitely. But environmental hazards don't explain the cases where standard search and rescue methods simply stop working. This is most evident in the failure of scent tracking. There are numerous reports of highly trained dogs inexplicably losing the scent of a missing person in the middle of a clear, open area. In other instances, campsites have been found perfectly intact. Food and survival equipment remain untouched, yet there are no tracks leading away from the site. Local accounts often attempt to explain what the physical evidence cannot, including reports of strange lights and shadow-like figures moving through the trees. While the environment is undeniably dangerous, the recurring absence of any physical record continues to frustrate modern search and rescue protocols. When looking back at the 1972 flight, the most unsettling factor is the lack of any evidence indicating a struggle. Usually, a remote accident leaves behind some trace, broken branches, torn fabric, or biological signs. The most difficult cases in the triangle are those where the environment remains entirely undisturbed. Modern rescue operations use advanced thermal sensors to scan the forest, but in these vanishings, the equipment returns no heat signatures and no movement. These missing persons leave the physical world without a single biological or mechanical trace, appearing to have been removed from the environment entirely. The Alaska Triangle represents a dual reality. It is either a world-class hostile environment, or it contains localized phenomena we do not yet have the tools to understand. The 1972 flight remains the baseline for this mystery, representing a total lack of closure that continues 50 years later. Every new case that ends without a recovery adds another entry to the region's history of disappearances. Despite our modern technology, this wilderness still holds the power to make a human being vanish without a trace.